Alright, it's time for everybody's fan favorite tier list. I made a half serious, half meme tier list for the first of the month. The first of the year, I should say. Technically first of the month too, though. On average pug experiences for PvE. This one's going to be the serious tier list. At least more serious than the other one, where this is ranking damage dealing classes. We're going to alternate these tiers a little bit, or edit them a bit as we see fit. But for now, we'll just leave it at S, A, B, C, D. Let me preface this by saying, 1, opinion-based. 2, I'm not ranking it within the tier, I'm just putting it in the tier. So everything is equal within the tier. Does that make sense? So if I put Deathstrike in S, and ESO in S, I don't think Deathstrike is better than ESO. They're just all equal, okay? I'm not ranking them like that. Let's get on with it. First on the list, Remaining Energy. Remaining Energy is fine. I definitely think it's worse than Surge, but I don't think... Do I think? We're gonna put it in A for now, and Surge in S for now. But I am definitely open to lowering Remaining Energy some more. Problem with Remaining Energy is you have to hit a bunch of different back attacks compared to just the one big back attack for Surge, which makes Surge better. Plus, it's easier to get the burst in, etc., etc. You all know this by now. You don't need me to explain it to you, hopefully. Lunar Voice, I don't think is very good. I'm going to put it in B for now, as well as Thirst. I think they're both B specs. Demonic Impulse, damage-wise, it has a much lower ceiling. And as much as I like Demonic Impulse, I'm gonna have to put it probably... I'll put it in B for now, but I'm probably gonna end up moving it to C. Perfect Suppression, I think, is strong, but it's not super strong to be an S, so I'm putting it in A for now. Barrage is ridiculously strong. Firepower, I would put in B. B, low A. I think Enhanced Weapon is A. Pistolier is absolute garbage. I'm sorry for people who enjoy Pistolier, but it is bad right now. The buffs look promising. We will see if it's enough to make it playable. Obviously, anything in the game is playable, but Pistolier is just so much worse than everything else, it's not even close. Peacemaker, we will put in B, because Peacemaker is generally what people use is OP versus not OP. Peacemaker, B, makes sense right in the middle of the tier list. I don't want to make a bunch of tiers, like Giga Chat Amazing, not as good, OP, etc., etc., so we're just sticking it like this. Again, I don't think these classes are below Peacemaker or above Peacemaker. I'm just putting it in the same tier. Peacemaker, solid spec, but has its problems. Generally, though, people classify this as, if it's above Peacemaker, it's too good. If it's below Peacemaker, it needs big help. I think Time to Hunt is worse than Peacemaker. Evo is just... a weaker Demonic Impulse. But I feel like I should put Demonic Impulse and this in the same tier no matter what. Okay, I'm gonna move Demonic down to C as much as I like it. The damage just isn't there compared to everything else ceiling-wise. Arthentine's skill is either low B, high C. I'll put it C for now. Loyal Companion and Deathstrike. Right now, If you use both of them together, it's quite good, but in the future, not so much, but I'm doing it for our current Lost Ark patch in North America. / South America / EU version of the game. So, Loyal Companion, Deathstrike, we will go... I'll stick him in B. Why not? Empress is honestly ridiculous right now. Emperor isn't as good, but it's still very good. For damage... Support don't exist for damage. True Courage is bad. Igniter, obviously S. Reflux is like B. It's just not... As much as people want to say Reflex is like comparable damage, yeah, maybe in Trixion, but in an actual raid scenario, it's not even close. Reflex just doesn't put out the numbers that you need to put out like Igniter does. Because if you're doing the same amount of damage, if you could hit the boss for 60 seconds straight, sure, I could understand Reflex being comparable to Igniter, but the reality is, you have 15 seconds to do as much damage as you can, and then you run around and do mechanics for 30 seconds. Igniter does much more damage in that 15-second window than Reflex does. That is why Reflex isn't nearly as good as Igniter. Master Summoner is very good, despite me having seen very few good ones. Communication Overflow still very good, but not as good as Master Summoner. I think Control is pretty mid, as is Pinnacle. I think they're pretty similar at this point in time, at the end game. Shock, I think, is pretty good. Taijutsu, I think, is markedly worse than Shock, but it's still good. I think it's probably B. Energy Overflow and Robust. It's either I put it in A or put it in B. I think I'm going to put Robust and Energy Overflow in A for now. The reason being, both of these specs do quite a bit of burst damage, and a lot of encounters, again, are around the burst windows. And the problem with Robust is longer DPS windows. Your Trixion DPS is pretty bad with Robust. Your burst damage can also be pretty bad if you set up a burst window around your Spirit Bomb and it misses. Obviously, Spirit Bomb isn't all of your damage, but if you set up your burst window around it, it can be basically an entire 30-second window wasted, which is not good. Energy Overflow has similar issues, just on a smaller scale. More of Energy Overflow's issues comes from not being in Hype 3 when you should and being in Hype 3 when you shouldn't. SO, I think, is A. Death Blow, S, even though most Death Blows are terrible. Player skill gap on Death Blow. Death Blow is very good in the right hands, and its skill ceiling and damage ceiling is significantly higher than, like, all of these classes. I think I'm gonna move remaining energy down. Well, I mean, I'm not putting these in order, like I said. It just feels weird seeing it high A, even though I know that's not what I'm doing. Because it's just A. If we were ranking these by rank, I think I would put it low A. I'm just gonna do this to help my mental. Because remaining energy, I think, is, like, just on the edge of B and A. I'll leave it there for now, though. First Intention is not great. I think it's on the line between B and C. I'll put it in C for now. Drizzle and Wind Fury, we don't have Aeromancer, obviously. Full Bloom and Regression, we don't have Artist. Berserker Technique is okay, but it still has some issues. I think some of the issues will be alleviated with the upcoming patches we're getting, but we don't have it right now, so it goes in C. Mayhem, honestly, I think is fine. I know that's like a very unpopular opinion. It does very good damage. its problem is the fact that it's not burst oriented, and it's obviously squishier than a lot of classes, but I'm putting it in B because I think it earns a spot in B. Gravity training. Gravity training, I think I put in A. And I think Rage Hammer I put in S. Lone Knight obviously goes in D, and so does Combat Readiness. Well, do I feel like... I mean, Combat Readiness does about the same as Pistolier. Lone Knight, I think, probably goes to C. Alright, and this is what I think... Well, I guess I can do a little bit of rearranging here. Let's do... I think Igniter's probably better than Empress. Then I think I'd probably be Deathblow, Surge, Barrage. Yeah, that looks about right. And then this. Yeah, I think that looks good. Shock probably goes down a bit. I don't know which is better. I think a lot of people say EO is better, but I don't know. I'm a robust main. I don't really care. I think Esto's better than Shock. I think Gravity's better than Remaining. Let's take a look here at B. B. I think Firepower is pretty low on the list. Taijutsu, Flurry. I think Reflux is probably down there. Reflux is definitely worse than Mayhem, I think. These are also worse than Reflux. So Flurry is probably worse. Do I think it's worse than Reflux? Yeah, probably. I think Pinnacle does more than Control. What do I feel? Yeah, I think this is fine. I like how I said I wasn't going to arrange them in order, and then now I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing it for you guys. I think Time to Hunt is probably right behind Arthentinian Skill. First Intention, pretty bad. I think BT is probably better than DI and Evo. First Intention's probably worse than all of them except Lone Knight. And then... that. Alright, I put it in order for you guys, even though I said I wouldn't. This is like how I would rank the damage. This is my serious 2023 tier list for damage, PvE. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and of course subscribe if you haven't and you made it this far, because I like my number going up. Bigger number, better person. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!